Hey everyone, welcome back to Dear Crone Wrapped. It's been a while since we did this back in April, so we're going to be going through all of the editions from May, June, July, and August. Let's get started. We have Feeling Self-Centered, who wrote, Dear Crone, my bestie has been pulling away from me for 3 months, and finally I found out why. She was there for me, but when I tried to be there for her, I messed it up and triggered her abandonment issues. How do I react to her outburst without making it about me? Because I really thought I was helping, and now I don't even know how to feel. I don't know how to put aside my feelings and focus on hers, because while she said some facts, they still really hurt. How do I make it not about me? All right, my response here is going to be very anti-Tumblr, I think I'm going to call it, because there's no such thing as being responsible for someone else's triggers. You triggered her, which is not a crime. It was an accident. You were trying to be helpful, and she got upset. And now all you do is give her the apology you owe her, but you can also expect one in return because being triggered isn't a free pass to act like a bitch. Don't say it like that or else things are going to get worse, but she could be correct and cruel. She could be factual and cruel. People who say, the truth hurts, the truth doesn't have to. You can be kind and deliver it. And if she was mean, you can expect an apology for that. You can't not make it about you because the situation involves you. There are two people here that need to work something out. You're a part of that. Give her the apology you owe her and consider asking for one in return. You can go, hey, I didn't like how you responded to this. That's an entirely acceptable thing to say. Up next, we have Miss Teacher, who wrote in and said, Dear Crone, my friend of 15 years never puts me first and does not respect my time. She got diagnosed with ADHD only a few years ago, and I feel like she uses it as an excuse to leave me hanging for plans for hours, or to cancel on me last minute. She does this all the time, but she says she is trying. I haven't seen any proof of that. She says I'm not respecting her ADHD. Am I wrong to be upset, or am I being ableist? Alright, I can feel the Tumblr hordes coming for me even as I think this. There is the situation, and there is her ADHD. Those two things completely separate. Her having a reason for her behavior doesn't excuse the fact that it still negatively impacts you. I'd say the most ableist thing you could do is treat her as a child, because that would be actually ableist. Treating someone with a neurodivergency or disability as incompetent or incapable by virtue of them having to do things slightly differently. You're absolutely in the right to be upset. It's inconsiderate. What you could do is, play with boundaries a little bit here. That can take two forms. Number one is you just exclusively make plans that you're comfortable doing by yourself, in which case she does cancel last minute, doesn't matter, doesn't affect you. The other option is give her deadlines. You go, hey, I want to do X, Y, or Z. You have 2 days to let me know if you can make it, if you can't make it. If you don't tell me in that time, I'm assuming you're not able to make it. And go from there. When it comes to these styles of executive dysfunction, it's not your friend's fault. She doesn't deserve it. It's likely not malicious, but it is affecting you, and it is her problem that she needs to handle, and you can expect that of her. Our next write-in goes by Jesse's Girl, and she said, Dearest Crone, I'm 38 years old, and my high school ex is still into me. I left him for one of his friends, since married and have 2 kids together, but ex still pops up in my messages. Tried giving him closure, but he won't let go. How do I help him move on without helping him move into the afterlife? Sincerely, Jesse's Girl. Jesse's Girl, I have to commend your almost saintly patience, but no, you're done here. It's been 20 years. You are not responsible for giving this man closure. I actually hate the word closure. I think it's some eat, pray, love bullshit. I do love that movie, don't get me wrong. But 99% of the time, the closure is you hearing the words no, or saying the words no. That's it. This is borderline harassment at this point. The only thing you should give him is a restraining order. Yeah, stop responding to his messages. You don't need to help a grown man through something like this. He can figure it out, or he can go to jail. If he hasn't gotten the message after 20 years, consider delivering it with your friend Smith & Wesson. Up next, Anxiety Expert wrote in and said, Dear Crone, one of my best friends confessed he's become attracted to me and he wants a friends with benefit situation. Not anything serious or romantic. We had a conversation where I told him he's too important to me to risk losing him. He's been my rock through my parents' sudden deaths in the last couple of years. He told me it was cool and he's not going anywhere, but now he's acting weird and I just want us to go back to normal. Is there any way I can fix this? I can't lose anyone else right now. Anxiety Expert, I need to clarify something for you. You are not losing him, he is losing you. And that's not like a girly pop, boots the house down, cunty slayth queen thing. I'm saying it just factually. He wants something you can't give him, and so he's pulling away, and it's not your fault. I understand it can be so frustrating. You wanted friendship, he wanted something more. Tale as old as time, song as old as male sexuality. But you can't fix this because you did nothing wrong. The only solid way forward here is therapy. You need someone to talk to that can't be him because he's pulling away. You need a new rock, unfortunately, and I'm sorry for that. Now, you truly don't know someone until you go on vacation with them, as Anne figured out and wrote to us and said, Dear Crone, I'm going on holiday with my best friend to a foreign country in a few days. I'm 16 and this will be the first time I've ever traveled without my parents, especially this far. Now, while planning activities to do on our time there, I've noticed my friend and I have different ideas on what fun things to do are. Now, we both don't like compromising, and I don't like it when plans change. I'm touched by the tism. So how do we navigate this? And if you're old enough to go on a vacation with a friend and no parents, you're old enough to compromise. Welcome to adulthood. I understand, touched by the tism. I have not been diagnosed, I have been peer-reviewed. But, I can assure you, even the neurotypicals don't like compromising. That's why it's called compromising and not getting what you want. I get it, quite frankly. I hate when plans change too, but, that just means you plan a little better, you're a little bit more rigid there, and that's completely fine. But there are certain things when it comes to compromising, you just suck it up. Autism is not an excuse to not do something for someone else. Enjoy your vacation. I blame the internet for this concept of oh, I have to put myself first 24/7. That's just being a selfish bitch. It has nothing to do with an autism diagnosis. It has nothing to do with anything. You're just being difficult for no good reason. You picking yourself first means you go get a massage while your friends are maybe going to the beach. That's fine. But if you are incapable of just doing something for someone else, you're not being a good friend, you're not acting like an adult, and I can expect that of you. Go out there and do it. Now, speaking of friend drama, petty-ass mother wrote in and said, Crone, my former best friend ditched me when she found out about my baby's name. For context, she's done having kids, and it wasn't a name she was going to use, just one she liked casually. Now she's refusing to come to our other friend's wedding we're both in. Should I tell her to get the fuck over it or not make drama since it isn't my wedding? The name is also just your average white boy name. I mean this in the most, freeing way possible. Not your fucking problem. You are there for the bride and nobody else. You don't need to handle anything that isn't directly related to the bride. If your friend wants to blow up her relationship with the bride, that's on them. She can be petty or not petty, or she can make any choice she wants. Not your fucking problem. You show up, you're there the day of, you're there for the bride, you do what she needs done, you're helpful for her. If Granny has a heart attack and you're not a medical doctor, not your fucking problem, you're there for the bride. Don't worry about it. If you want to be really petty, keep the name, and then have your child's middle name be the first name of your former best friend's husband. No, her ex-boyfriend from high school. Do that. Up next, we have married single mom, who said, Dear Crone, I'm a mom of 4, work 50 plus hours per week of pretty intense physical labor, also cook, clean, shop, schedule appointments, etc. My partner of 10 years has always been the stay-at-home parent since he's not great with authority, follow-through, or reliability. In the last couple of years, he has started doing less and less. I think I'm ready to leave, but I don't know if I can work without him watching our kids. How can I convince him to help more? Or should I just plan on walking away? This falls into the same thing I was talking about with Anne. You're an adult. Time to do shit you don't like. There's no such thing as not great with authority with a grown man. You're a dude in society, deal with it. Until the day comes where we transcend our mortal forms and amalgamate as pseudo-sexual energy beings, you can deal with shit you don't want to do. You know I hate the nuclear option. I almost never recommend it. Leave his fucking ass. However you can do it, do it. If you have friends who can help watch your kids, if you can maybe do less, it's going to be difficult. I'm not denying that. You're going to need to help. You're going to need to figure that out. You essentially have a lead weight tied to your foot, and you're still managing to pull off 50-hour work weeks and doing everything else. I think you're remarkably competent. You can do it. Now, everything is falling apart, needed a little help, and they wrote in and asked, Dear Crone, I have a very close online friend who's felt ignored by me of late. He started becoming very passive-aggressive, and I confronted him about it. He threatened to end the friendship. I asked if we could keep trying, as I can't lose another close person in my life. He relented. However, he refuses to take any responsibility for his actions, and I am exhausted from trying not to provoke him by bringing it up. I'm anxious all the time. I've lost too many friends to lose him to, but I'm so tired. Babes, you're anxious all the time. You're exhausted. What would you actually lose by not having his friendship anymore? Anyone who makes it your responsibility to not provoke them is unsafe and or a child. You should not be dealing with that. I understand how shitty it can be to lose friends, but speaking from my own experience, finally being free of them is worth so much more than some glossed memories. This question had to be here because it's fucking hilarious. Questioning Kosher, thank you. They wrote in and said, Dear Crone, I'm too embarrassed to ask a rabbi or a scholar this question, so I'm asking you. Could sucking dick and swallowing be kosher? I know blood isn't kosher and you're not harming the dude you're sucking off, parentheses, unless he wants you to. So, is it kosher? I love this. I love this so much. Please know you guys have my utmost permission to ask me anything in this vein. One of my best friends is Orthodox, so if I can't answer outright, I can always go to him. Trust me, we're down to talk about it. Now, I'm going to split this into 2 parts because sucking dick, absolutely schlobbing on that knob, is considered kosher. Swallowing, not so much, and I'll explain why. According to halakha, sex is for procreation, but it is meant to be pleasurable. As such, pretty much anything you do that brings pleasure to your partner, as long as it's not outright banned by another law, is permissible. This includes sucking dick, eating ass, Stick your things in various holes, it's fine. However, because sex is for procreation, there's a prohibition on wasting seed, read between the lines, which means you have to finish inside her. So breeding kink, also A-okay. This is also why the pill is considered kosher. You're allowed to take the pill, which prevents you from releasing eggs, but condoms are considered a waste of seed. So oftentimes, religious couples will use the pill and not condoms as birth control. Now, sucking dick is not to be confused with man-eating. Thus, we have Sorrel the man-eater, who said, "Hi Crone, I, 24F, kinda did a dumbass move and dated my brother's friend for a year. I broke up with him, multiple reasons, though I totally suck, and now my family won't talk to me. I'm starting to crash out. Can you give me detailed instructions on how I can jump dimensions like you? I desperately need a universe where I can live out the found family trope. Maybe also hype me up in a funny way, please. I need non/human interaction. It's been weeks. Thanks in advance." Sorrel, honey, I promise you it was a breakup. You didn't kill his entire family, I think. Like, you're fine. You don't suck. I'm beyond confused why your family's this involved in your dating life. Are you a princess from somewhere? You can't jump dimensions, but you can tell your family to fuck off, which is arguably even more cathartic. Why are they involved? I learned to date by just doing the opposite of what my parents did. And so far, so good, right? You don't need to listen to these fucking people. What the hell do they know? You broke up with someone. Maybe they're gonna pine for you for the rest of their days. Maybe they're gonna forget what your first name was. It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect you regardless. Move on. Now, our next write-in is an enigma wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in the name Anonymous, and they said, "Dear Crone, so my parents are genuinely good people at times, but I feel like they forget I'm an adult. I asked to go out with my friends that I met and lived with in college, and my mom said I shouldn't get too close to people and called me crazy for wanting to go out. I'm 19 years old and I can't make adult choices. I feel as if I'm not living my life or have a choice. My college major, data science, was chosen by my parents, and I had almost no say in the matter and was gaslighted into choosing the major. When it comes to making adult choices, you're only fully an adult when you are 100% financially independent from your parents. If they're helping to pay for school or housing, anything, they have a say, unfortunately. Simultaneously, you can just make your own choices, but understand there might be consequences for that, wherein they pull funding or something else. Another aspect of adulthood is not asking for permission for what you're doing and trusting your own judgment. You don't need to inform them what you're doing. You know, if she doesn't want you to get too close to people or go out, don't tell her you're doing that. Again, you're 19. You know, you can make those choices, but be prepared for consequences. You can likely have a sit-down conversation about this, but I mean, again, if they have control over you, they have control over you, and the best way out of that is to make sure you're in charge of your own finances, however you can manage that, whether that's scholarships and a good job, or something in between. Next up, we have Side Piece Struggles, who said, "Dear Crone, I have a best friend who's very on again, off again. I feel like an emotional side piece, even getting those 3 a.m. you up texts so she can cry at me about her cheating ass boyfriend. I've written in about her before, the pregnant one. The last time we broke up, my skin cleared up, my hair got healthier, and I lost 30 pounds. Remind me to break up with your friend too. We've started talking again, and I'm fat again. My skin looks like something out of a horror movie, and my hair is falling out. Can you help me drop her again for good?" How am I supposed to help you when you call yourself a side piece? You know you're miserable. You know what the cause is, and you don't just ignore her. You don't just block her. Just fuck off. Tell her to fuck. Don't even tell her to fuck off, actually. Just you fuck off. Fuck off elsewhere where you're happy. You can lead a horse to water. I can't make the horse pick itself. What do you want me to do? I'm so against this bullshit you don't owe your community anything, pick yourself. But you need to let people be miserable, because that's what she wants to do. The only excuse you have for staying with a man who cheats on you and then letting him knock you up is you want to be miserable for the rest of your life. I can already hear the comments, "Daniel, what if he's manipulating her?" I promise you, she's just a dumbass. Anyone this stupid isn't dating some criminal mastermind boyfriend. They both just suck. He's a loser, she's a dumbass, let them go have stupid children together. Side piece, this isn't to you, but in general, not everyone's ex can be a narcissistic sociopath. Some of you guys just dated losers. It's okay, but if she wants to keep dating a loser, let her. If you really need my help, I have a P.O. box, mail me your phone. That's my only advice to you here. Otherwise, don't talk to her. I know I'm worked up, but I'm saying this out of love. Girlie, this stress can kill you. If your hair is falling out, if you're breaking out like this, if you're gaining weight this rapidly and trying to lose it, this can kill you. Just drop her. You will be better off for it. Let her go be miserable. All right, now we're hearing from expat Safa, Huchanet. "Hello, most wonderful Crone. I live with my autistic, non-binary partner, and frankly, I've had it. I'm 31 and they are 35, and they seem incapable of doing the most basic things like cleaning up after themselves, hoovering, or showering. Thank the gods we have separate bedrooms. I used to help with reminders or requests for help, but I am so tired of repeating myself. I feel like I am teaching a child. Our sex life has tanked due to their constant body odor. What on earth do I do?" Expat Safa, I feel you. This plays into my previous conversation where I said, neurodivergency is not an excuse for infantilization or acting like a child. I think you need to lay it out as directly as possible. You stink. I don't want to have sex with you because you stink. You are acting like a child and you need to take care of yourself or I'm leaving. I guess I'm not woke. I don't think it's ableist to expect an adult to shower. Like, you win with your gay stuff. I'm not talking about in the context of depression or situations where it becomes difficult for a period of time to take care of yourself. But you are 35, you have a partner, you're an adult, and you can't do anything? No, leave them. It is normal and healthy to have expectations of your partner, and you can tell them, I love you, I care about you, I want you to be happy and healthy and in my life, but if you can't take care of yourself, I can't either, and I'm leaving. Now, until the crone fully takes over and starts setting people up on dates, we're going to keep having relationship problems, such as buying timeshares in the friend zone, who wrote, Dear Almighty Crone, my ex-situationship/friend/theater buddy, long story, and I have begun talking again. Like all the other times, I'd like to proceed with the adorable dating part of our little dance and have it actually work. We're compatible in literally every way, but we both overthink it so hard we end up fucking it over. Is there any way to not die in the friend zone here? Or am I doomed to make awkward small talk once a year at reunions? To quote the crone, Dearie, why are you combating reality here? Like, I understand you want this to work. You guys write to me because you need a little bit of a smack upside the head with reality, and that's why I'm occasionally a little blunt, a little direct. I'm not trying to be mean, I just need you to see it because I believe you can handle this. What does not fucking it up look like? Because dating shouldn't be hard. It's, do you want to go out? Yes, here's the plan. I'll see you at 7, 8, 9, whatever. It's nothing more complicated than that. The solution to overthinking is just being direct. It's asking questions. Do you want to go out? Do you like what I'm wearing? Can I peg you? All the important standard milestones in a relationship. Because your other option is both of you sitting there nervous thinking about the other and not going anywhere. It's a waste of your time. The crone casts her own skepticism over the situation because there's no such thing as being literally compatible in every way and then failing to work in real life. That just means you're incompatible. But if you want to not make small talk once a year, why don't you ask them a direct question about an important topic? Like, do you want to go out? I'm about to have the crone start a matchmaking service, I swear to God. Moving on to Hopeful and On, we have, Hello Crone, I send you love and best wishes. I'm struggling with trying to stay positive around negative people. It is like my soul is a sponge and it soaks it up. I know how silly that sounds, but I've been trying to be more positive and it has made me see how negative people are around me, but it's not my place to demand they become positive too. Hopeful and On, you are absolutely correct. It is not your place to demand anything of anyone when it comes to their behavior and their outlooks. But yeah, you nailed it. Negativity loves company, misery loves company. People who are miserable want you to be miserable around them, and it's not worth your time to try to fix them. So you need to go and find people who are more positive than that. It's that straightforward. And I'm gonna warn you, you cannot out-positive someone's negative. It's the universe, it's the world, you have endless reasons to be negative. Just remove yourself from the situation. You can be honest with them. You can say, hey, I don't like how negative you are. They might get defensive, they might get upset, but in the end, they'll have one more thing to complain about, so they'll be happy too. Now we hear from Tiny Ames, who said, Almighty Crone, around 9 years ago, I briefly dated someone, and it didn't work out. We remained friends and became best friends. However, over the years, he's become incredibly possessive and controlling over my life. I value his friendship, but I've been single ever since because I can't date anyone without his interference. How would you cut this person out of your life? A gun. I'm not afraid of confrontation in general. A gun. But it hurts my heart to confront and hurt a friend. A gun. How would you cut this person out of your life? A shotgun blast to the chest, legally a joke. A car battery hooked up to his nipples and tossed into a salt bath, legally a joke. A car ramming, legally a joke. Like, girly pop, this isn't your friend. This is a control freak. I love that you're not afraid of confrontation. The good news is you don't need to confront him, because confrontation implies that he does have some sort of say over your life. You do whatever the hell you want. He doesn't need to know. And not that you're hiding something from him, it's that he doesn't need to know because he has no right to demand that he knows. He should not be interfering in your relationships, and the only way he can keep doing that is if you let him. I'm gonna tell you point blank period. He should not be showing up on your dates. He should not be contacting any of the people you're dating. He should not be interfering in the slightest. He's not involved. Don't give him any way to get involved, but also remove yourself from his life. Remove him from your life. This is not friend behavior. This is sociopathic. You need to remove him from your life. If you need to give some final closing statements, fine, go ahead. I don't recommend it, but you outline it as blatantly as possible. You don't feel respected. He has no right to be interfering in your relationships. He should not be, period. His behavior is unhealthy. He should go to therapy, and honestly, you should too, but everyone should. Yeah, cut that man out. Now, we've covered many important topics here before. Let's look into one that makes you want to go Edna mode with Cindy. She wrote, Dear Crone, in January, I met the man I thought I'd marry. For the first time, I truly believed I had a person. He said he was in a polyamorous relationship. Fucking hate that. And I said, well, that's not for me. So if you want me, you'll need to be monogamous. Things were going well. We clicked on every single way and sex was heavenly. Then a friend of mine messaged the woman he was involved with. I found out he lied, he lives with her, and they've been monogamous for a year, according to her. He started to block me to just calm her down, and then he added me back, hiding my name. I begged him to choose me, to love me, to give me a chance because I'd give him everything he wanted. He said he just wanted to see if she was his person and let fate decide if we were meant to be together. Well, the first time we slept together, we made love to a Sleep Token song. The next time he saw me, he kissed me deeply. Yes, this was after the girlfriend found out about us. He still came to see me. Kissed me, and the only word he could get out was dangerous, after he spewed this crap about letting fate choose. Sleep Token came out with a song titled Dangerous, and despite choosing her, he still messages me every day on Snap, still calls me pet names, still sexts me. He's cheating on her, yet he still won't be with me. And for some stupid reason, I can't let go. Or give up. Please help me because this pain is making me want to die. I love him and just want to be chosen and loved for once in my life. I'm sorry I took 3 parts for this, but I really don't know what to do. Why is he okay with cheating on her, but lives with her and dates her, and he won't choose me? Why am I clinging to this man who won't love me? I'm 31, a single mom. Am I stupid or broken? Cindy, oh my God, just stand up. This man doesn't love you. And I know you know that because you aren't stupid. This man only values you because he gets off on not being available to you. He gets off on cheating because he is a cheater and that's all he'll ever be. Oh, he called me dangerous. He's a fucking man. Okay. Like, I'm sorry. That's lame. Like, kill him. Legally a joke. He didn't choose her. He's cheating on her. He's cheating on both of you with each other. Like, dude is just a player and frankly a really bad one. He still messages you every day on Snap. You are 31. You are 31 on Snapchat. He's a grown man on Snapchat. Hit him with your car. Legally a joke. Why is he okay with cheating on her? Because he's a cheater. That's what he does. That's what he gets off on. This isn't hard psychology here. You're looking for a reason why you aren't enough. He isn't. He's not enough. He can't find what he needs. That's why he goes around and hurts women for fun. Anyone is a better option than this man. And if he does eventually pick you, I'm telling you now, he will cheat on you. Don't be delusional. You're here for a reason. Ignore him. It's not hard to just stop doing the thing you're doing. You stop messaging him. You stop responding to his sex. You block him on everything. It hurts. It sucks. It's shitty. You feel bad for a while. But it's not hard to just stop talking to him. You go out and do that. I need you to understand this. This isn't some star-crossed lovers destined to be apart bullshit. This is the loser I'm talking about. This is the shitty man who's not a narcissist or a sociopath. It's a man who you are frankly let manipulate you. Stop it. Now that I've dropped that mic and stepped off my soapbox, let's listen to Perpetually Suffocated, who wrote, "Hello, Crone and Daniel." Hi. I have recently, October 2024, left an abusive relationship and am living back at home. I want my own place, but I am planning to go to grad school and everything is so expensive. I have had an offer to remain here, but I feel like a failure. Yeah, that I'm living with my mom for the next 3 years. What would you advise? Perpetually Suffocated, I understand exactly what you mean by your write-in name. I'm gonna let you know now, God's strongest soldiers are those who are able to tolerate living at home as adults. It's a good thing for you, just from a financial perspective. Keep doing it. I promise you, you're not the only one still living with your parents. You left an extreme situation. I'm very glad you got out, and that's more than enough reason to need time to get back on your feet. And honestly, you're right, grad school is so fucking expensive. Take this opportunity for what it is. You can strangle your mother later, again, legally a joke, but, save on grocery and housing bills. It's a good thing, and you're not going to regret that. Every day you're not paying a landlord or for groceries is a fucking victory, and you should celebrate that. You're doing a great thing. Mazel tov on grad school. Go rock it. All right, much more straightforwardly, we have Devoted and Mad About It, who said, "Dear Crone, is it a really bad idea to get involved in the same polyamorous relationship as my best friend by dating someone they're dating? I know they'd be fine with it. They literally suggested I date them at one point. But is it just inviting drama?" No, I've made my stance on polyamory fairly clear, which is you have all of my support, none of my understanding. Doesn't work for me. I don't have the bandwidth to date 2 people who are unemployed. All jokes, I promise. But when it comes to polyamory, let me know in the comments, is it common for besties to date each other's boyfriends? I think that's a horrendous idea. I don't think that's gonna go anywhere good. Yeah, I'm all for thinking that that's inviting drama. Don't mess yourself up like that. Don't. It's just, what happens if they break up and now you're still dating her ex-boyfriend? Is that gonna be chill? Is she able to handle that as an adult? Because I don't think a lot of people are. And that might be the main sticking point with polyamory. If they can do that, great, they can go for it. If they're willing to share, I don't think there's anything wrong with boning him, to be quite frank. But formal dating with the titles and everything, I think that's risky. Proceed with caution, I say. Up next, we have Engagement Envy, who said, "Dear Crone, I've been with the love of my life for 2 years, but he has yet to pop the question, and I'm experiencing engagement envy. All my other friends have been in relationships for less time and are all engaged or pregnant, and I'm starting to feel like an old maid. We're all between 16 to 22 years old, and I'm the oldest. I know I'm young, but I feel like I have to catch up. I don't want to just be a baby mama, but I feel like I have to lock him in now despite him planning to marry me. Help." Envy. First of all, you're in the right mindset. Don't be a baby mama. It's for the best. Get married before you have a kid. If it makes you feel better, that 16-year-old marriage is not gonna go well. You are a child. They are a child. They don't know who they are yet. I will bet you basically my platform that they end up divorced at some point. With this situation, direct is best. Tell him you want to get married. If he's willing to pop the question, great. If not, I don't think he's in the wrong for waiting, though. You are 22. You are 4 years younger than me, darling. You can, it's okay to wait a little bit longer. Personally, anecdotally, the relationships I've seen that have gone well among my friends are, marriages after they're both financially stable. Marriages between adults who have finished their school, started their careers, are fairly set in terms of where they want to live and have a knowledge of the direction they want to go in. And then they pop the question. You don't have that because you're 22. And it's okay to get there first. I understand you feel the need to catch up, but my parents had kids very late, and there are benefits to that too. I know you don't want to do it, but there's an in-between is what I'm saying. Between having kids at 40 and having them at 22, it helps for children to be raised by adults. Not young adults, but like adults. And you can get a little closer to that side before you're ready to have kids. We have Soltera, who really connected with me specifically, and they wrote, Sagest Crone, I've never been anyone's best friend, nor even anyone's second choice. I'm aware enough to know it isn't me either. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. Nonetheless, it's suffocating me. 2 decades into life, and I'm yet to be, chosen. I'm not asking for advice per se, without anyone whom I wholly trust. Someone above me in the friend pecking order might always be told anything, I find. I simply needed to share my loneliness. Thank you. Soltera, this is probably one of the most vulnerable write-ins I've ever received, at least personally speaking, and I want to address it further because I didn't elaborate much in my response in the Valthakan Times just because of character count. I was assaulted twice in college by a close friend of mine I lived with for 3 years. 2 separate situations. I forgave him the first time and watched my friend group implode the second. They all still hang out. Every single person that I no longer keep in touch with, they all got together for a little reunion, and that was really nice. I watched all my friends of about 4 years, for whatever myriad of excuses they came up with, and they did approach me and come up with excuses, explain why they needed to remain in touch with the person who did it. I am no longer in touch with them, and it really sucked, especially because I moved from living in a house of 10 people, who I no longer speak to Canada, and I moved to Vancouver with essentially no roots back home. Since then, I have gone on to celebrate my best friend's wedding. I helped make their chuppah with them. I flew to Miami, where another best friend took my entire family out to dinner at her favorite Cuban restaurant. I've been a part of bachelor and bachelorette parties. I've done all the things that I know is coming for you. And I don't even mean to say through patience, but because it will happen, you will find the people who you are safe with. I understand you're 20 now, and it feels like you've missed the opportunity to build those deep-rooted relationships with people. And I'm telling you now, you haven't. Sure, you will have different experiences with them. You won't have, high school memories or elementary school memories, but you will have equally important, equally valid experiences with the people who you are safe with, and you will find them. I always recommend therapy too. It's a good thing for everyone. It'll help you process a lot of the things that, weren't your fault, as well as figure out what you can control. Because you will be chosen. I'm telling you, you will be. Up next, we have the ironically named Homeschooled and Condused, who wrote, Dear Crone, at what point do you become friends with someone? Especially as teenagers / in church, because there's this one person who I kinda hang out with, but I don't know if we're friends because most of the time we just roast and make fun of each other. He's funny, and I usually like hanging out with him because he makes me laugh, but I don't know if that really counts us as friends. Sincerely, Homeschooled and Condused. Homeschooled, I'm not trying to make fun of you. I think that was just a typo, but I don't correct people's right names, because what if you were condused? I don't want to mess with that. I do think this is really sweet. My caution to you is, hey, make sure the relationship is a bit more than just making fun of each other. As long as you guys aren't saying things that are actually harmful, teasing is fine. But dude, it sounds like you have a friend. If you like hanging out with him and he likes hanging out with you, if you make plans together, if you feel safe with them, that's a major one. If you can trust them, that's a friend. At the same time, shallow friendships are a thing. You can have acquaintances. If you just like to laugh with them and you don't progress emotionally, that's totally valid. There are different kinds of friendships. There are more shallow ones. If you just want to hang out and laugh with them, that's totally fine. If you want it to develop, though, you're going to have to break through the emotional barriers that might exist and just connect with the guy on something more than just roasting each other. Next up, we have Confused Comrade, who said, Dear Crone, I have a good relationship with my parents, and while I have since moved out and whatnot, it appears that everyone that I am either attracted to, friends with, or merely know on a name basis has daddy and or mommy issues. I'm beginning to wonder if I should pride myself on my parents and them having good relationships and for being a magnet to trauma muffins, or if I need to be concerned that I do. Advice? My first question to anyone with a good relationship with their parents is teach me your ways. No, it's entirely possible. Trauma muffins, as you call them, absolutely sense emotionally stable people. It just happens. I don't think you need to be concerned as long as you're nice about it. just be nice to them, because a lot of people aren't lucky enough to have a good relationship with their parents. Parents can kind of fucking suck. Parents can be stupid as hell. Like, the truth is, a lot of people just should not have had kids. You know, I am unfortunately in that party. I've worked hard on my relationship with my parents. They should not have had kids. They did not have kids for the right reasons. They were not in the right emotional state. It fucked me up to a degree. I'm working on it. And if you're a safe person to, you know, these trauma muffins are going to recognize that. And don't let them trauma dump on you. That's not your responsibility to handle. You know, always encourage therapy. But, like, hey, people are noticing that spark of likely emotional stability within you, and it just speaks to, you know, how kind you are, or how stable you are, or how lucky you are. I say go with it. Ray of Sunshine asked, Dear Crone. So here it goes. I went on a trip to the EU with my younger sister, who just got married on April 20th, insert joke, and she cheated on her. So here it goes. I went on a trip to the EU with my younger sister, who just got married on April 20th, insert joke, and she cheated on her husband. He stayed back and watched all 3 of their adopted children and gave her all the money to go on this extramarital affair trip, and he doesn't know. I've decided to not tell him, but my sister is planning on meeting with the other guy in Canada in October. I feel like I'm the only person seeing how wrong it is. My whole family knows I am in hell. I know in a follow-up you sent, you told me that her husband is convinced she can do no wrong. I'm telling you now, he knows. He knows. There's no way she pulled this off without him knowing, especially with the wording that you sent to me. Like, if you tried to tell him before and he was like, no, she doesn't. Yes, he knows. It's not your problem. If you want to do something crazy, you know, grab her phone and post the screenshots of her messages with Canada guy. But you've kind of cleared yourself here. Your entire family sucks, by the way. Tell them that. Tell them Daniel Alexander says they suck. Lastly, we have Very Confused Friend, who wrote, Dear Crone, I'm friends with a guy who's amazing and kinda cute. I didn't think of him as more than a friend until everyone started pointing out that he treats me like a girlfriend. I've tried talking to him, but he insists that he only sees me as a friend, but continues treating me like a girlfriend. I don't know how to handle the situation. What do I do? Everyone I've ever spoken to or addressed in the Valthakan Times is actually legally required to get this tattooed on their arm. You are not his girlfriend unless he calls you his girlfriend. And then just bright, let's call it gold ink that catches the sunlight and blinds helicopter pilots. That's what I need you to do. If the man says you are not his goof, you are not his goof. Do not give him any more credit than that. He is not treating you like a goof until he calls you his goof. Everything else is just him being friendly. You can do whatever you want. You can do whomever you want. He is not your boy. He is not your buff. You are not his goof. Move on. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've actually learned that subtlety doesn't work, so I'm going to tell you, subscribe to the Valthakan Times, subscribe to us on Patreon. It supports me, it keeps me going. It's how you can see all the content I'm able to make. I wanted to give a huge shout out to our gratitude wall. If you want your name up there, you know, fill out the form. Read our editions, read our short stories, click our links, and I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you.